Why haven't the Cubs made a move yet? We talk about it next.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olver, I'm Matt Cozy. Best way to support the show is by listening every day on your preferred audio platform and by pressing like and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you so much for making us your first listen. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. In this Wednesday episode, we are trying to discover why haven't the Cubs made a move yet. Sam, we understand it's been mostly inactive around baseball, but we're going to try to zoom in on this, put out some free agent targets out there, and come up with some reasons on why the Cubs, as of December 12th, haven't made a move.
Yeah, I was catching up on some reading.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, during the open you were?
Yeah, as you did the whole open, I was just reading.
Oh, wow. So you're that bored.
Yeah, it's been a
Or is that it? Yeah, I mean that's an indication of boredom, I would say.
No,
Since, we pressed record, I'd expect you to maybe move on to other things.
Well, Matt, look, here's what I'll say about the move stuff as I start to get very emotionally fatigued.
Right.
I understand the market with Ohtani holding it up and now Yamamoto holding it up. What I don't understand, and I ask our listeners, what is the holdup on just going and grabbing a reliever? Like, you need multiple relievers, and there is no way that Yamamoto or anybody else is holding up the mid-level Brent Suter reliever market. Go out and just get that done now, because we know, I've said it on the show, 2 starting arms, 1 strong, 1 back end guy, 2 bats, at least 2 relievers. The one thing you could go get that there's no market holdup at all is you could go get Brent Suter right freaking now. Okay?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't understand what the holdup is. Go get a reliever. Just get us something so it's like, hey, we actually just improved for a minute. I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe I'm just being overly impatient, which, I'm obviously been guilty of on this program. But I don't understand. We haven't made a transaction.
Impatience at this point could be deemed an understatement. Fatigue is another one that you already brought up. What I'm starting to get nervous about is, so I have some reasons here why they haven't made a move. The market has stalled, or market competitiveness, however way you want to look at it. Maybe because of Scott Boras.
Some sort of like economics class. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, why has the market stalled? Is it because that there's so many teams in on the talent this year? Is it because of Scott Boras's greed? Is it because of Yamamoto? That's what I'm looking at right now.
But none of those things have anything to do with Brent Suter.
But I don't know that anymore. This has been the dumbest offseason of all time. It has. And you know what? I know everyone doesn't have to have a take, but it's bad for baseball. So you mean to tell me that Yamamoto, who doesn't need to sign until like January 10th, okay, which is the same date as our live show in St. Charles, you mean to tell me that we have to wait a whole nother month till moves are made? That everything's being held up because of Yamamoto?
I have some breaking news.
Really?
Sources tell me, and I got more sources than a bibliography. Sources tell me Rowdy Tellez and the Pirates have agreed on a deal.
Fantastic. I heard
3
Justin
point-
Turner might be going there too.
$3.2 million for Tillett.
So those are the reasons why I think the market could be held up. But there is at least, I mean, you think there's at least one person.
Laugh,
Brett-
enjoy, man. There's only all you could do in this world is laugh. That's all you could do.
Brent Suter is a great name because not only is he affordable, Fangraphs actually has him at 2 for 18, which is a little more than I thought.
That's high.
But he played for Craig Counsell. Oh, and the Cubs have a need for a lefty, dude. So I'm putting, you know what? I'm putting him in the thumbnail. Brent Suter. That's what you've done to us this offseason, baseball. That's what you've done to us, Cubs.
Well, I got to tell you, if you told me on Thanksgiving that on December 12th for the 13th, Brent Suter would be in the thumbnail, I'd probably say I'm off the show.
Right. Well, listen, Sam, if this was my full-time job, I would, first of all, I would start a compilation of how many times you've threatened to be off this program. Okay, because I don't have time to do the compilation. But if I did, I would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Open
forgot
thread.
where else I was going with that.
Well, it looks like you're doing the podcast from some sort of spaceship where,
Yeah.
like,
My new audio panels. By the way, this is real, folks.
It's not real. You know, it's not real. The Cubs' interest in anybody, and their
Right,
interest
so
in
there's
them.
more to break down this segment because, other
Is there?
projections.
Is there?
Well, based on other projections that I think are reasonable, what's the holdup? But again, that could mean market competitiveness. For example, Fangraph says 10 M's for 1 year for Brandon Belt. Cubs could do that tonight. Fangraphs has 12 M's for 1 year for Lorenzen. Cubs could do that tonight. But maybe he wants 3 for 45. Maybe there's multiple teams. I don't know. The other thing is Rhys Hoskins.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's holding out for 3 years. Now, whether he gets it or not is another thing.
He's a Boris
But
client.
I think he's looking for a 2 or 3 year deal.
Look, here's what I'll say in all seriousness. I think that is what is happening right now is that players are really asking for a lot, and Jed does not like to budge above market value, and he's waiting for the market to come down. That's all fair and good. But as you and I spoke off the air on the telephone today, one thing that is important is that you can't, at some point, overpaying Rhys Hoskins is better than not getting anybody.
Than losing out on him.
You have
somebody else. Right?
You have to put out a competitive, solid, playoff-ready product. I said this on Ty's show last night. I was on his show.
Okay.
The Cubs have to make the postseason in 2024. We don't live in this world. I get it. Jed wants to make every move. He wants to be shrewd, strategic, and smart. But at some point, sometimes you have to just put your toe a little bit over the line. If Hoskins wants a 3rd year and that's what wraps it up, then you got to wrap it up. I don't, you can't, look, I'm just saying you're not going to be able to get everybody on a team-friendly deal.
Right.
You got to flex your muscles at some point and say, hey, we have to be good. So you know what? Imanaga, I really like him and his talent. I'm going to go 5 for 125 for him.
Wow. I haven't seen that anywhere.
Even though in my head it's a 5 for 95. I'm just using examples, okay? I have no bibliography sources, okay? I'm just saying Jed could come out of the offseason and say, hey, everybody overpaid for everybody. That's their fault. Well, yeah, but you didn't get anybody, so we're not going to be any good either.
Right.
I'm done with my point.
I like the Imanaga one. I think he should lead off an episode this week.
I don't think so.
No. He could be the Cubs. He could be the Cubs' number 2 or 3 starter. I would go 5 for 100 on him. I don't know if you saw my realistic free agent targets in the so-called top 50 of free agency the other day from the Show X account. I just wanted to read you these names just to get maybe some reaction. Mm-hmm. Montgomery, Imanaga, Hoskins, Belt, Santana, Soler, Martinez, Garver, Lorenzen, Flaherty, Matsui, Suter, Stevenson, and Neris.
Who's Matsui?
Yuki Matsui, a left-handed reliever, dude.
Is he in the
He's
major
from
league?
he's from Japan. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, okay.
the NPB, man.
Got it. Yeah.
Haven't seen a lot of smoke regarding him lately. Maybe the Cubs are working on, a deal with him.
Are you trying to joke around?
Fangraphs has him at 3 for 30.
Are you trying to kid around?
Well, that's the talent pool. That's the top 50 of free agents.
No, I know, but I'm saying they're working on a deal with a guy I've never heard of. Like, are you just kidding?
Well,
Or-
he's a high-end bullpen arm. That's a real thing. He's been lost in the shuffle, quite frankly. He has. And the other thing here, Sam, is Cody Bellinger. Remember him?
yes.
Jung-Hoo Lee signed for 6 years at 113 M's Tuesday night with the Giants. Bob Nightingale says it's Cubs, Blue Jays, Giants, and Padres for Bellinger right now. The Mariners also got a previous mention with the last couple of weeks. I would go up to 6 for 180 for Bellinger.
Mm-hmm.
Have him around the same amount of years as Swanson has left. That's a 30 M's AAV. But 6 for 180, I think, is way below his price point right now.
Yeah, I think the Cubs want Bellinger back at the Cubs' price. I think there's probably going to be other teams that want him at Bellinger's price, and that's probably why they won't get him. Is it at all concerning to you that similar to with Rizzo and Bryan and Baez that Happ, Horner, Suzuki, Hoyer, all their contracts are expiring at the same time, basically? Is that a concern? Because it's interesting to me, are the Cubs looking to hand out any more long-term deals? Or are they looking for just these short 1 to 2 year deals? I just wonder what Jed's plan is long-term, with these guys. And because let's say the Cubs are really good the next couple years, right? Suzuki's going to want a big extension because if they're really good, he's probably going to be really good. Happ's going to want another extension. Horner's going to want a contract. You're not going to be, it's just going to be the same situation with the core. You're not going to be able to pay all of them. It's just I'm just in a very dark place.
No kidding. Wow.
And, I just would like to see a move done.
Well, hopefully we get it. Perhaps it's Brent Suter first. Perhaps it's Yuki Matsui. Perhaps it's Rhys Hoskins for 3 years.
We haven't talked about Matsui one time on this show.
I think he was brought up once in November. If not, then I do apologize because he's a real player.
No, I know he's real. I just didn't know we had I just didn't know we had real interest in him.
Well, and Brandon Belt might be platooning with Patrick Wisdom in 2020.
Well, that I've kind of thrown that out there.
Well, I don't. Is it too much to say that I would rather have Brandon Belt for 1 year at 10 M's than Rhys Hoskins at 3 for 45?
Not at all.
Thank you.
Especially because he's a left-handed bat.
Would you like to do around the MLB or trivia next? I am observing, and you admitted that you're in a dark place. I'm just wondering if we should go to a lighter trivia side or if we should close with that.
Well, I do have some good news.
What is it?
Let's go to trivia.
Coming up next, Cubs trivia about a certain team from a little bit ago. Stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel right now. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. You've been thinking about joining FanDuel. There's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Fresh off a big win last weekend against the Lions, the Bears are 3-point underdogs at the Cleveland Browns.
Little bit of life for
this
the
Sunday.
Bears.
And perhaps Matt Eberflus is actually reviving his job status on the lakefront. Perhaps Luke Getsy is. Perhaps Justin Fields is the quarterback of the future. We'll have to wait and see. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn. FanDuel, official partner of the Locked On Podcast Network. We move into trivia time here on a Wednesday.
Trivia.
As I have all the qualified players per starting 9, or I guess starting 8, plus the whole starting 5 of the rotation, as well as the right-handed and left-handed setup men for the closer in front of me for the 2010 Cubs.
Opening day.
Not opening day. This is the most qualified players. Like, they logged the most time at these spots.
All right, let me get my mind there. You just throw these years out like I'm some sort of encyclopedia.
Well, you are, but go ahead. and
All right.
discuss it.
Catcher, Giovanni Soto.
Correct.
Derek Lee, first base.
Correct.
Castro got called up in 2010. Is he on there?
He is shortstop.
Okay. Tyler Colvin, is he on there?
No.
Okay. Mike Fontenot?
No.
Oh, boy, I'm struggling.
Former shortstop.
Ryan Terrio.
Yes.
Marlon Byrd.
Yes.
Kosuke Fukudome.
Yes. One more position player.
Alfonso Soriano.
Yes. Can you do the starting 5 of the rotation?
Zambrano.
Yes.
Dempster.
Yes.
Carlos Silva.
Yes. 2 more.
Trying to think who they traded. It was a year before Garza. Was Sean Marshall relieving?
Yes, he was. He was one of the setup men.
Yeah. And
You
then
got 2 starters, a setup man, and a closer left.
Marmol.
Yes.
2010 starters. Was Randy Wells there yet?
Yes.
So I'm missing one starter.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, excuse me. I thought I had to cough.
Oh, sorry. I'm missing one starting pitcher.
Oh.
Try to focus here.
There's 2. You got 2 southpaw options. I actually had 6 dudes on here.
2 lefties. Is Ted Lilly still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he got traded.
Yeah. All right. And then the other southpaw. It's not Rich Hill. It's not.
This
I
would
already
be a
said
huge get if you got it.
I don't know.
Tom Gorzolani.
Oh, jeez. I wouldn't have got that. And then what am I? And I'm missing one reliever.
Well, yeah, I could give you a hint.
Marshall and Marmol.
Yep.
And then I'm missing one apparently.
Yeah, hint would be Anthony Rizzo.
Oh, Andrew Kashner.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Not bad.
Yeah, that was good.
Thanks, man.
Oh.
You-
Coming
are you
up next.
Are you feeling okay? Or
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I've had kind of a nasal drip, which is more information than these thousands of people needed.
well, no, it's not. It's better information than talking about the Cubs might sign Honus Wagner.
Well, didn't you have something around your home that you maybe wanted to share, or not necessarily?
Well, no. I just am a little upset. I had like a little repaint of like my tub in my shower, and I couldn't shower for 24 hours because it had to dry. And when I went to go, use the shower today, it was just a total disaster, man.
Wow.
Something happened with the water. The water was all over the ground. I had to wash it.
Boy.
It took me about 30 minutes to fix myself. And I'm not exactly,
A handyman.
yeah, right. So I fixed that. And, the house still smells of paint, which can't be good for, to be inhaling that stuff. So, if that guy's listening, I don't know how great of a job that was. So. I mean, you should have seen me. I started to take a shower. I thought it was like Noah's Ark. I mean, it was just everywhere, the water. I don't know what happened. water on the ground,
Get a pair of every animal while we're at it.
a puddle. The drain wasn't working. I mean, it took me about a good half hour to recalibrate things.
We close out by going around the MLB. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. Locked On Sports Today covers the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Search Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and subscribe to the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel. Shohei Ohtani had unprecedented, they're calling it, contract deferrals, as he's going to be making $2 million per year across the next 10 years. The AAV hit is $460 million across the 10 years. Sam, any public comments for the first time here?
Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's weird. I think it's bending the rules. I think it sets a wrong precedent. I think people are acting like Ohtani is doing some sort of major charitable work for what he's doing. He's still getting all his money. In fact, he might avoid paying some taxes on it if he gets it later. I think the Dodgers, it's very sneaky. It's no different. Who knows who's going to own the Dodgers in 10 or 11 years? It's just, they're doing what normal people do all the time. Yeah, we'll worry about that later. I'll worry about that later. I don't like it. I think it's bending the rules. I'm not a huge fan of it. And, I think it sets a bad precedent. I think if you get $700 million, you should have to pay that person $700 million over 10 years the way it was supposed to be. I don't like it at all. And I'll say it publicly, I'll be rooting hard against the Dodgers for 162 straight games starting in late March.
And if it's true that Ohtani's camp leaked to John Morosi that they were on a plane to Toronto, that's awful.
Is that what's being said?
That's being floated by Tom Verducci.
This idea that Ohtani didn't want to go to the Dodgers the whole time and that he's not into the
crazy.
Look, there's nothing
he
wrong
wanted to go.
He wanted to go and he wanted to get paid. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't act like you're some sort of, you're saving the geese from an untimely death. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't be one of you're not some sort of this hero. You're getting $700 million to play baseball. Whether you get it now or your great grandchildren get it, it's going into the Ohtani name. So stop acting like you're giving it away to people on the street. Enough already. Okay. Nobody should be paid that much. It's ridiculous. Right. People struggle out there. $700 million to play the game of baseball is absolutely
ludicrous. Inappropriate.
It's ludicrous. And the guy's injured. He can't even pitch.
He might not pitch again.
He's not even healthy. He just had I'm putting at my elbow. It's not even on camera. He just had the elbow surgery. $700 million. Give me $7. I'll figure out how to pitch and hit.
Well, and no hate, but they have 3 of the 5 best players, 1, 2, and 3. But 4 through 9, I mean,
Dave Roberts, you know what I mean?
He's a puppet.
No, you know what I'm saying. With Dave Roberts can miss me. You know what I mean?
Right, he can miss you with that. So.
Yeah.
January 10th in St. Charles at the Arcada Theater. February 7th at the Des Plaines Theater in Des Plaines.
And if by January 10th we have no moves to talk about, I'm going to be doing some sort of routine. Matt might do some magic tricks. He's very good with that.
Yeah. Wow.
And I might learn how to break dance or something because
karaoke possibly.
We can't sit here and talk about what ifs for 2 hours.
It's going to be a live show. It's going to be a hangout. There's going to be a special dinner menu, special drink menu. The Arcada and Des Plaines Theater. January 10th and February 7th, respectively, both Wednesday nights, 7 to 9 p.m. Join us there. We're so excited. You can get full details and full announcement on Tuesday's episode, and we will continue to post the link for tickets in the episode description. Cubs and Grub, Arcada, and Des Plaines Theaters, January 10th and February 7th. Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs. You give us 20 to 30 minutes, and we'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube and smash the like button for the algorithm. Shout out to the audio peeps on Apple, Spotify, and more. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.